What are you watching?
What are you watching? Elodie, le film!
The Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek, a place where my heart would soon be shattered into a million pieces, like the fragile, delicate petals of a flower crushed beneath the weight of disappointment. I still remember the day I walked into this supposedly luxurious establishment, my eyes wide with wonder, my heart filled with excitement, only to be met with a cacophony of catastrophes. As I entered the lobby, I was immediately struck by the outdated, tired decor that seemed to whisper "we don't care" in a loud, dismissive tone. The air was thick with the scent of stagnation, a pungent aroma that clung to me like a bad omen. I should have known then, dear friends, that this was not a place that would cherish my presence, but instead, would trample my dreams beneath its worn, unpolished heels. The room, oh the room, was a disaster waiting to unfold. The transparent, hardened glass walls, more like a cold, unyielding tomb, suffocated me with their unwelcoming gaze. The beds, too soft, too yielding, seemed to swallow me whole, like a sinking ship in a sea of despair. And don't even get me started on the balcony, a laughable attempt at providing a view, when all it did was frame the bleak, desolate landscape of my disappointment. But, alas, the room was only the beginning of my woes. The service, oh the service, was a masterclass in ineptitude. The staff, seemingly trained in the art of indifference, would saunter by, their footsteps echoing through the desolate corridors, like the ticking of a time bomb, counting down the seconds until my patience would snap. When I dared to complain, they would offer me that condescending smile, that patronizing tone, as if to say, "Oh, dear, you're just being dramatic, it's not that bad." But, dear friends, it was that bad, and worse. And the food, oh the food, a culinary abomination that would make even the most iron-stomached individual weep. The breakfast buffet, a laughable excuse for a meal, was a sad, pathetic attempt at providing sustenance. The eggs, like rubber balls, bounced with a hollow, unappetizing sound, while the bread, stale and dry, seemed to suck the moisture from my very soul. And don't even get me started on the fresh fruit, a cruel joke, a mockery of the very concept of ripeness. But, what really took the cake, dear friends, was the noise, oh the noise. The constant, incessant din, like a never-ending drumbeat, pounded in my ears, a relentless reminder that I was trapped in this nightmare of a resort. The evening show, a cacophonous mess of clanging, banging, and screeching, was the final nail in the coffin, the coup de grace that shattered my last shred of hope. As I lay in bed, my ears ringing, my heart heavy, I couldn't help but think of all the warning signs I had ignored. The reviews, oh the reviews, a treasure trove of red flags, had screamed at me, "Stay away. Avoid T.'s place like the plague." But, I, foolish, naive, and trusting, had ignored them, had thought that maybe, just maybe, they were exaggerating. But, dear friends, they were not exaggerating. They were telling the truth, a brutal, unvarnished truth that I would soon discover for myself. The Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek, is a disaster, a catastrophe, a travesty of the resort that deserves to be avoided at all costs. So, dear friends, I ask you, what do you think? Have you ever had the misfortune of staying at this stump? Share your experiences, your thoughts, your agreements, and let's expose this place for the nightmare it is. Together, we can make a difference, we can warn others, and we can bring this monstrosity to its knees. And, dear Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek, I say to you, shame on you for perpetuating this charade, this farce, this travesty of a resort. Shame on you for breaking my heart, for crushing my spirits, and for leaving me with a deep, abiding sense of disappointment. But, even in the midst of this despair, I find solace in the nostalgia, in the memories of better times, of happier days. I remember the laughter, the smiles, the warmth of the sun on my skin, and it gives me the strength to keep going, to keep fighting, and to keep exposing the truth. So, dear friends, let us stand together, let us raise our voices. Script content. You know, around Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek, some shops, they do things that make me sad. Tourists just want nice holiday, but some people take advantage. It's not fair, you know? So, there was this jewelry store near Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek. Shops here, they act so friendly, like your best friend, but then, boom, scam. This tourist bought a gold bracelet, super happy, right? But when she got home, not gold, just shiny metal. She probably cried, you know? And the shop? They just laughed. Nothing happened to them. They still there, waiting for next tourist. Then, the carpet shops. Oh my god. They tell you, special price, only for you. But then, surprise. Price goes up when you pay. One man near Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek, he agreed to 200 lira, but card machine magically charged 200 euros. He didn't notice until later. What could he do? Gone already. And shopkeeper? Probably just did it again next day. And restaurants. Oh, restaurants. They bring you menu with no prices, you think, okay, normal, right? But then bill comes and, wow. Suddenly water costs 10 euros. And you're like, but. No? But they just smile and say, no mistake. And you're stuck. Because who wants fight on vacation? So you pay. And they win. Again. And taxi drivers. Oh, they see tourists near Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek, and meter? Poof. Disappears. Flat rate, they say. But flat rate is triple real price. One family paid 50 euros for 5-minute ride. They probably felt so stupid. But how could they know? It's just sad. Like, why do this? Tourists just want happy time. But around here, some people see them as walking money. And nothing changes. Same scams, every year. And no one stops it. And the worst part? The tourists who fall for it. They just go home, embarrassed. Never come back. But the scammers? Still there. Waiting. Always waiting. The reality of businesses near Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek. If you're staying at Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek, and expecting a paradise of well-run, reasonably priced businesses nearby, lower your expectations. The area suffers from a pattern of disappointment. Overpriced, disorganized, and often underwhelming, these are the themes that define the experience. Let's start with the Land of Legends Shopping Avenue, because if there's one place that embodies frustration, it's this. The reviews paint a picture of chaos. Families arrive expecting magic, only to stand for hours in the heat, waiting for a show that starts late, if it starts at all. Kids cry, parents fume, and the staff? Nowhere to be found with answers. Then there's the shopping itself, limited, uninspired, and with pricing that feels like a tax on tourists. One review mentions a restaurant charging double to non-Turkish guests, then playing dumb when called out. Another describes a shop double charging a credit card, followed by days of silence from management. This isn't just bad service, it's predatory. The nighttime shows? Overhyped. Crowds pack in, but the payoff is lackluster, no fireworks, no spectacle, just exhaustion. And if you think the water park is a safe bet, think again. Multiple rides closed, leaving families with one sad slide to share. Moving on to Crassula Spa, or rather, the gist of it. Reviews are either empty or ancient, which tells you everything. A spa with no recent feedback is like a restaurant with no customers, something's wrong. Then there's Mambo Lounge, where the vibe is non-existent. Staff with the enthusiasm of a Monday morning DMV visit, food arriving unseasoned, and prices that make you question reality. One guest ordered a burger advertised as 200 grams, it wasn't. The salad? A visual masterpiece with the taste of cardboard. Mambocino coffee continues the trend. A place where caramel lattes are so over-syruped they lose all identity, where baristas ignore requests just because they can. One reviewer got a moldy pastry, twice, because apparently, quality control is optional. Even the 19th hole English sports bar, a place that should be simple, beer, screens, decent service, manages to disappoint. 3 drinks for 25 quid? That's not a premium experience, that's daylight robbery. So what's the takeaway? The businesses near Cornelia Deluxe Resort, Belek, operate with a mix of apathy and opportunism. Prices are inflated, services inconsistent, and the advertised magic often fizzles into frustration. If you must venture out, research thoroughly, set low expectations, and keep receipts, because in this area, even a coffee order feels like a gamble.